All right, everybody, welcome back to episode 7 of the Sound Booth Podcast. I'm Josh Crespo.
I'm Lumbax.
And today our special guest is...
Rich Illuminati.
Thank you, Rich, for coming on today.
Appreciate being here.
Such a cool name.
Thank you.
Yeah, it is a cool name. I remember that when you first followed me on Twitter. I was like, who's this guy?
Who's this Rich? And then your emblem has like the logo has like that crazy jaw.
Yeah, it's very edgy, huh?
It is. I was like, whoa, what is that?
I thought it was you at first before I clicked it, and I saw like the teeth and stuff. I was like, oh, maybe it's a picture of him, but no, that's your own thing. And I thought it was an Illuminati account at first too. I'm not gonna lie.
That's what I thought too. I was like, ooh, Rich.
I'll incorporate that when I explain myself. So I am a producer out of Ontario, California. It's in the Inland Empire, which is about 45 minutes east of LA. So in the Inner Valley, and there's a lot of upcoming artists, producers. What have you out here in the Inland Empire, and I don't think there's you hear a lot of people coming out here. It's mostly like LA or some other big place, but that's currently where I'm at. I actually used to live on the coast, out in Orange County.
Oh, nice.
Moved inland over here to San Bernardino. Lived there most of my life, and then recently moved to Ontario about a year ago.
Okay.
And since moving to Ontario, I've just had many good experience in connecting. I think that's when I started to pop. My Twitter started to pop up.
Yeah. And
I just made all these good connections. As a producer, I don't just do one genre of music. I hate putting myself in a category in a niche. So I do a wide variety between like pop, 80s synth pop. I do trap. I do alternative.
Oh man.
I love everything, bro.
Nice.
Yeah, and the good thing again about the IE is there's just so much good diversity between what you want. Either you want a West Coast artist, or do you want an artist that does like some weird screamo or whatnot with guitar.
Yeah.
So I think I'm in a good position where I'm at right now. Is just getting my name out there as Rich Illuminati.
Gotcha, man. Gotcha. So, can you tell us how did you first get into music? Like, what first got you into it?
Okay. I wasn't into music a lot just because I was a bit more sheltered as a kid, so I wasn't able to listen to very rock bands or rap or it was mostly like Disney Channel and Kids Top 100 or Kids Bop.
Kids Bop.
Nice.
So when I got into high school, that's when music started really pop because of course I was very influenced by the different genres of kids liking. My Chemical Romance, Panic at the Disco, and stuff like that, versus top Billboard 100. So that's when I started getting into music, started to experiment. I think my sophomore year is when I strictly listened to 80s music, so Pat Benatar, and other 80s hits and stuff like that. I just went through different genres and became more familiarized with the different sound and what it just interested me. It was 5 years out of high school. I graduated 13, and then I just remember when a song would come out, and I was just hey, do you hear the different sounds, stuff like that? And my friends were hey, if you that interests you so much, why don't you just try to recreate it? And that's kind of how I got into producing actually, just recreating just sounds? In my own creativity or nice. Sometimes most of the time I base it off emotions. If I'm having a bad day, I channel that energy into doing my music and. I don't feel like that all the time in certain aspects, but that's my best kind of music as a producer, and how I have the most connectivity with it.
That's interesting. That's an interesting way to start. Is just kind of want to recreate a sound that you've heard and then kind of push you in that direction.
That's hard too.
It is.
That's not easy to do. Let me recreate the Bedrock beat from Lil Wayne or whatever.
Yeah,
and then because I was
exactly, but in my own way, my own different kind of sauce. Because of course, I hate copying people, but if I like a sound, I'm gonna be inspired by it, and then I'm gonna try to recreate it, differently, but in the same kind of vibe,
right?
So to speak.
Okay.
That's awesome. That's cool. That's a cool way to start, though.
Oh, okay. Wait. So let me actually go behind my name because I remember you guys told me, but I forgot to mention. Okay, so how I became Rich Illuminati, or How Did I Get My Name, was at the time I was starting to get into producing. I was listening to like a lot of Rich Gang, so like Young Thug and such like that. So I was like, okay, well, I want to be rich one day. And this was when I was younger, so I was just a kid, and I was like, I want to be rich one day. I want to have a lot of money. I was like, I like Rich Gang, and I wanted to go for something edgy. So I picked Illuminati for whatever reason. And I looked at the definition, and it was, I think the definition goes along the lines of like someone who has, further knowledge than everybody else, or an enlightened being or of something of that nature. So I was like, okay, that kind of makes sense, because I view myself like I'm trying to be the best over everybody, or like know of my craft or something like that. I forget exactly what. Sense. And it was really edgy, because it's not exactly bad, but like younger thinking, like you hear Illuminati, like, ooh, that's kind of weird, or like, something along those lines. So it just was something that I knew was gonna stick with people. If they didn't remember the rich part, they're like, oh, you're the Illuminati guy. And then thus being like, I got so many DMs in the last couple of years, like, hey, are you the real Illuminati, or can you give me the Illuminati?
There you go. It's a great way to
So it's just been weird, but like definitely it was, I think I made a good judgment call on just picking, a name and then developing the brand behind it, in that aspect. So that was a little bit behind the origin of Rich Illuminati. A lot of artists or producers, they have like auto like random generators offline. I didn't do that. I could have done that, but I was just like, I wanted something at least I chose.
I thought your name was Rich for the longest time, like up until right now, actually. I thought your actual real name was Rich.
Yeah, or people say like, hey, is your name Richard or Dick or something like that? I was like, no, it's not. It's Nathaniel, for the record.
Nathaniel. There we go.
That's funny.
We have the inside scoop. Nathaniel is Rich Illuminati.
All right, Rich. So, can you maybe talk to us about some piece of work that really just helped you break away from everybody else?
Yeah. So about 8 months to about last November, around there, I put out a contest. I made a beat. I put it out for free, and I was like, hey, if I'm doing a contest, if you can, put what you want on here, and if it's hard enough, I'll give you like a $25 gift card of your choice or something like that. And not very many people did it, and I was discouraged. And then I got one entry. His name is Josiah Nichols. That's his artist name, but on Twitter he's produced by Joe, or Joe Beats. And he posted, he's like, hey man, I did this, I hope you like it. I heard it, it was fantastic. Now that song is actually on Spotify, called Celebration, by Josiah Nichols. So it's like more of a pop song, but it just really made me realize that at that moment, or like when it was posted, that I was like, hey, this is totally doable. Because before then, I was kind of not going anywhere. I was in a rut, because there wasn't a lot of people hopping on my beats, singing, and it was discouraging, because I had been producing for about 3 years. So when that happened, I was like, hey, this is, you just gotta work with the right artist, or something spontaneous, as in like a contest, pique their interest, like, hey, here's the beat for free, do something on it, type thing, without actually sounding very needy. But I was needy at the moment.
Nah, that's not that's
and then
cool.
From then up until now, in the last 8 months, I've just had so much growth in connecting, because from that first experience, now I knew exactly what methods I needed to take, or like what techniques in approaching artists, or like get my content out there seen by the correct people, to have them willing to be put on there,
Right.
And I think that's just it. And there's a lot of artists or producers out there, they just don't know the ways, or they're not experienced in the way of like grabbing the correct artist or the correct consumer, instead of just putting anybody, because anybody can put it on, doesn't mean that it's going to be good quality.
Right. Yep. Then that's just a numbers game sometimes too, I've noticed. Like, I'll put stuff out there and people will jump on it, or they'll collab on the guitar, and I'm like, it's cool. Like, I'm not gonna say anything bad to them, but it's just not, who knows where they are in their journey. too. You don't know how long they've been producing or whatever, so it's cool.
Yeah, I know. Like after 3.5 years, it took me after that, just in like since like February, for me to start actually popping off and making a splash. You know, but it all has to do with like time and how hard or how much you want it, because I didn't realize how much I wanted until like last February, and that's when I started actually talking with Sonny on the beat or Sonny Laurent.
Right.
You know, and then I was just influenced, and he's like he's a good mentor for sure, and from him, you know, I am where I am, and I'm working. I worked with 808 Mafia. I have something coming out with Internet Money pretty soon.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So to be announced on that one, but I mean, just from those, like, they just made me realize like actually anything is possible.
Yeah.
You know.
Wow.
That's progress.
Those are some big names. 808 Mafia and
Internet Money,
man. That's big.
Yeah, I would have thought in like a year ago that I would be where I'm at right now. I mean, I don't even know where I'm gonna be in like next week.
Right.
You know, type situation. So it's just, you always want to play it by ear, but you also want to have a direction of where you want to go, or you're just going to be everywhere with your sound. I mean, I do different sounds in my music. Every day I do a beat, it's not going to be the same beat as yesterday, the same different sound, because I like the diversity.
Right.
I get really bored with things, and I start hating music when I actually love it. Mm-hmm. So I experiment a lot more. I consider myself to be a very versatile type of, you know, artist, creator, producer, whatever you want to call me.
Do you rap or sing at all? Like
I tried rapping for a little bit, but more so just for like mixing purposes.
Okay.
Not really good at it. I did ghostwrite a couple songs.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
I'll say that. But other than that, I mean, I'm strictly just, you know, the vibe person. I'm setting the vibe for the person who has to tell a story. But in a way, I'm telling my own story, because, again, going back to how I make my beats, like, depending if I'm having a strong emotion, I'll transcribe that and I'll express that emotion into a beat. And that's just how I'm able to tell a little bit about myself and what I'm going through, either in that moment or at that time.
Right.
Okay.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah.
That you can channel that. Do you realize if it's a little, like, if you feel a little less sad or a little less angry after you put that into a beat? Do you notice?
I think at those times, like, unless it's very strongly influenced, I just go in and I do whatever I'm feeling. So if I'm not feeling too sad or not feeling too happy, I'm just feeling neutral, I'll just go in and just experiment. I'll do something cool that sounds good. Sometimes it doesn't sound good, and I'll work like an hour on a beat, and then I won't even save out, just like, okay, new project, I'm not even gonna waste my time on it. And then the next beat I go into is just like the right vibe of where it's hitting the right key in my inner key, and then I just vibe with it. I'm just like, dude, I'm really feeling this.
Right.
You've worked with like 808 Mafia and Internet Money. Is there anybody specific that you would want to collaborate with?
Nick Mira. I just think, Nick Mira. I think more so now. I have different people I looked up to back when I started producing. So I'll say this for Nick Mira. I like Nick Mira because I just like his creativity. He's always constantly coming up with something new. I like his style of sound. I think he's pretty solid as an actual person as it itself. Who I wanted to collaborate with back when was who was that? He's a DJ Carnage.
Oh, okay.
Carnage.
Yeah, DJ Carnage. Because I was really into like EDM and like dubstep and like house and, you know, stuff like that, and just pop, like synth pop, like Daft Punk, The Weeknd. Like, I'm really into that stuff. I was really into that stuff, and kind of like you know, evolutionized into or evolved into rap, and I got into like Lil Pump and, you know, Lil Peep and all that kind of like new experimental stuff.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, DJ Carnage and Nick Mira for sure, and they're kind of like low key kind of like different spectrums on their type of style and sound. But it's just I love all that.
Yeah, that's cool. Having a range eclectic.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
How many hours a day or like even a week do you typically spend working on your craft?
So that depends. Just because I work Monday through Friday, I work 40 hour. Sometimes I work 50. So, and that's where I get my finances. So from music, I work on music solely for just for advancement in terms of experience, more so like as an actual business is right now, which it is my business, but I'm not too worried about getting money for beats or anything like that. I'm more willing to work with like artists for free if I'm really, feeling them, or if I have mutual respect for them. I would say it depending, because I do take days off, so I don't burn myself out. It'd be like between 15, 25 hours a week for that out of the 40 I'm working.
So yeah, anybody who's listening, full-time job, still doing the work, working with some big names, so it's definitely doable either, whatever way you do it, as long as you're...
February too.
Since February.
It's only been like, what, 6 months?
6 months around there. I mean, when I said popping off, but I mean, I don't think I actually took it serious in the 3 or 4 years up until, recently in this year. Because that's, again, when Josiah hopped on my beat, it just made me realize, like, hey, again, this is definitely possible to do. And within reach, it's just what steps am I going to take to get to the next process of where I need to be.
Right. And you're definitely making progress towards that.
I appreciate that, bro.
Yeah, man. All right, guys. Well, thank you again very much for tuning in to episode 7 of the Sound Booth Podcast with Rich Illuminati as our special guest.
Illuminati. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it, guys. Appreciate it. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, we'll have your links down below so people can check you out, hit you up, collab with you, fill up that inbox even more, get some more work going.
Dude, I gotta make new emails now.
Yeah. Oh no.
That's a good problem.
Emails.
Yeah, man, we appreciate it. Is there anything you want to say to the people? I don't think the compilation project coming out sometime TBA.
Yes, the original drop date was beginning of September, but yeah, I need to get my songs together.
Did you want to release the name, or do you have it, or?
Yes, it's gonna be called A New Breed of Rich. So it's kind of like a Rich Illuminati 2.0 type of album to kind of represent like my next stage in my career.
Yeah.
Awesome, man.
Big things coming, it sounds like.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Again, this is episode 7 with Josh and Lombax and Rich Illuminati.
Thank you, sir.
Have a great rest of your guys' day.